So I read Looking for Alaska by John Green. This book was set in Alabama at a boarding school called Culver Creek, and it's about a boy whose name is Miles Halter, and Miles is obsessed with learning the last words of famous people such as poets, artists, or historical figures, and his famous last words were, "I seek a great perhaps." So Miles decides to leave his family in Florida and go to the boarding school in Alabama in seek of his great perhaps. At this boarding school, he meets his three best friends, Chip, who he calls the Colonel, Takumi, and Alaska Young, and he eventually ends up falling in love with Alaska Young and is heartbroken to hear the news that she died in a horrible car crash. And he's led to believe that this crash was his fault because he let Alaska leave campus early in the morning when she wasn't supposed to leave. And throughout the story, he is forced to cope with her death and learn that it wasn't his fault and that she can forgive him and learn that there might not be an afterlife. And the last part, or the last paragraph in this book was, "So I know she forgives me, just as I forgive her." Thomas Edison's last words were, "It's very beautiful over there. I don't know where there is, but I believe it's somewhere, and I hope it's beautiful." And I really liked that ending. I thought it was very good for the book, and I believe that there were many strengths in this book, and personally I didn't find there were a lot of weaknesses, but some of the strengths were that I loved how the book was split into a before and an after, which was before her death and after her death. And I loved how the characters all had very unique and defined personalities, and throughout the book you learn the characters' backgrounds and who they were, and John Green didn't stop the story to learn who the characters were. He interpreted all their, everything about them into the story. And my suggestion for future readers would be to make sure you're really paying attention while you're reading the book, because even small parts that don't seem important are actually key parts to future events. But overall, it was a very good book, and I very much enjoyed it. Thank you.